So we've studied our 3 command patterns, and almost every command you come across in the Quran is going to follow one of these 3 patterns.
Okay.
But as with most topics in language, we have irregularities when it comes to commands as well.
Okay.
But the study of irregular commands is a long, winding study with lots of details and lots of technicalities. So we're actually not going to be studying irregularities. Instead, what we're going to be looking at is actually how to recognize commands using context clues.
Okay.
And this should help you recognize commands that you haven't necessarily learned the pattern for most of the time.
Okay.
Or almost all the time. Okay, so there are a few context clues that we're going to use.
All right.
So the first is ya or ya ayyuha, which translates as O, as in O you who believe, or O people.
Okay.
Right? It's a tool used for calling out to someone. Right? And if you think about it logically, when you call out to someone, oftentimes it's gonna be followed by a command.
Okay.
So for example, ya ayyuha alladhina amanu, O you who believe, qu anfusakum wa ahlikum naran. Right? Translated as, O you who believe, protect yourselves and your families from fire. Right? And if you look at the translation, what are we looking at here?
Protect is a command. You're
Protect
telling somebody to do something.
Protect is a command. And even though qu doesn't really follow a pattern that we learned,
right,
we can use ya ayyuha alladhina amanu, right, the calling device, to infer that it's being followed by a command.
Okay.
Make sense?
Yeah. So we see the calling thing. So you're talking to somebody, and the fact that qu has like the waw alif at the end.
Yeah.
So that could either be like past they, or it can be command you all. But what makes more sense is command you all, because you're talking to somebody.
Yeah, because you're addressing someone, right? You're calling out to someone. So
Gotcha.
If you see ya or ya ayyuha, which translates as O blank, it'll often be followed by a command.
All right.
Right, so ya ayyuha alladhina amanu, ya ayyuha nas, ya ayyuha nabi.
Okay.
Anything of that sort. Okay, second one, in a similar vein, Rabbi, or Rabbana, or Allahumma, right? Rabbi, which translates as my Lord.
Okay.
Which is also a calling, like, oh my Lord. Rabbana, our Lord. Or Allahumma, oh Allah. Right? These are forms of calling out to Allah.
Okay.
Right? And when we call out to Allah, oftentimes we're making a dua.
Okay.
Right? And du'as come in command form, like protect me or forgive me, right?
Oh, I see.
In grammatical command form.
Okay.
So if you see one of these 3, it'll often be followed by a command. So for example, with قال إبراهيم ربي أرني كيف تحيي الموتى, translated as, when Ibrahim said, oh my Lord, so here's our calling, show me how you bring the dead to life. So a command here.
Is arini the command, or is it just, is ni a pronoun?
Ni is a attached pronoun.
Okay, so the command is edi?
Yeah, the command is edi, right?
Okay.
Which translates as show.
All right.
Okay, so this is another irregularity. It doesn't really follow patterns we learned, but because it's followed by Rabbi, which is, oh my Lord, right, we know that it'll most likely be followed by a command.
Okay.
A grammatical command.
Okay.
Here's another example.
So the first 2 are kind of similar. They're both calling.
They're both, versions of calling.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. هنالك دعا زكريا ربه. At that moment, Zakaria called upon his Lord. He said, قال ربي. So we see our calling. And then هب لي من لدنك ذرية طيبة. Gift me a righteous offspring, especially from you. Right, so here we have the calling, oh my Lord, followed by a command.
Okay.
So gift me.
And so hab is, well, we can tell that it's bald.
We know that it's bald.
Because it has a sukun at the end. And it doesn't have aten at the beginning.
Right.
So could that be another hint?
That is another hint.
Command?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. These irregularities will still often have their bald endings.
Okay.
Right, so that's another clue for you. And then last one, ربنا تقبل منا. This should say our Lord. Right, Rabbana, our Lord. We have our calling, and then followed by our command, accept from us. And like you observed, it has its bald ending.
Gotcha.
Okay, so that's our second one. And then the last one is connectors. And we've actually seen connectors before, and we know that connectors connect similar things.
Right.
Right, so if you see a connector following a command, it's probably going to be connected to another command. Right, so here we have...
So because connectors connect like things, if you have a command on either side of the connector, chances are the thing that it's connected to is also
it's going to be a command. Okay. Right, so an example, يَا أَيُّهَا الَّذِينَ آمَنُوا, O you who believe, اتَّقُوا اللَّهَ. Right, so we recognize ittaqu. This follows one of our patterns.
Right, it's alif followed by 1, 2, 3 letters.
Yeah, alif followed by 3 or less letters. So we recognize this one. But dharu, it doesn't follow a pattern we know. But there is a waw between them. Right? Okay. So since this one is a command, we can logically say that this one is also a command.
Okay, yeah, it makes sense, because you wouldn't say, be conscious of Allah, and they did something.
Exactly. Okay. It doesn't really make sense to connect different tenses or different kinds of actions.
Can you say, like, O you who believe, be conscious of Allah, and do not worship anyone else? So can a command also be connected to...
Command and a forbidding?
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're kind of the same. Because the forbidding is just a negative form of a command.
Okay.
Yeah, so it can be connected.
Okay.
Yeah, you could say, for example, have consciousness and do not engage in interest. That would be a possibility.
Okay.
Okay.
Got it.
So, are you clear on our 3 context clues that we can use?
So it's basically calling and connectors.
Yeah, calling. We saw ya ayyuha and rabbana, and then connectors.
Okay, I got it.
The 2 C's. Ready to try to find some commands, hunt for some commands and some ayat?
Okay.
Using context clues. And hint, they might not follow the patterns that we've seen, that we've studied.
All right.
Okay, so ya ayyuhan nas kulu mimma fil ardi halalan tayyiban. Let's start from there. Try to find any commands for him.
Okay, ya ayyuhan nas. So ya ayyuha was calling, right?
Yeah, ya ayyuhan nas is a calling.
People.
Right? Oh, people.
And so I'm guessing kulu is going to be a command.
Yeah.
Because it has the waw alif ending, which could be either past, they, or command you all.
Yeah.
And command you all is what makes more sense because of the calling.
Yeah, so it's after calling, and it has an ending that could be bold.
Okay.
Okay. وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا خُطُوَاتِ الشَّيْطَانِ إِنَّهُ لَكُمْ عَدُوٌّ مُبِينٌ. Anything else you see here?
Well, we have وَلَا تَتَّبِعُوا. That's a connector letter, and it's connecting to a forbidding.
Yeah, that's forbidding.
So forbidding and commands can connect.
Yeah.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Good.
So that could be a second hint for us that kulu was a command.
Yeah, that there's a forbidding coming after. You can kind of work backwards and say, well, it's connected to something, right? It's connected to kulu, which is a command.
Okay, got it.
Okay. يا أيها الذين آمنوا كونوا قوامين بالقسط شهداء لله.
Okay, so ya ayyuha alladhina amanu, that's calling, right?
Yeah, this is calling.
And so kunu has a waw alif ending, so that could be either past they or command for you all. And so it's because it's coming after calling, we'll say command?
Yeah, command. Okay. And this translates as be, right?
Oh, is it from Kana?
Yeah, it's from Kana. It's the command version of Kana. Anything else in it?